Right, Brandon from Top Odds. Next on SoccerBallz. Got some nice games. International break obviously affects people, and it probably affects the betting markets in terms of, do you bet more on international football or on your local club? Big games in England we just talked about with Rob Shepherd from the Daily Mail. Brandon from topods.com. Top Odds Compare on Twitter. We're back into South African PSL action this weekend, and we've got some cracking games, the best of which, I think, Brandon, Orlando Pirates against Bidvest Wits, with Kermit Erasmus in great form against his old coach, Gavin Hunt. How are we looking on those South African games at the weekend?
Yeah, unfortunately, the bookmakers aren't out yet with the PSL betting. They will come out, I'm sure, later today. That's probably due to the fact that Bafana played last night, and a lot of the players involved in the PSL were involved, in that game. So they wait to see who pulls up injured and who's ready to go. So, just talking about Bafana last night, I was pretty impressed with their performance. And I think Sheikh is onto something.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think that we all agree that he's got them playing with passion, and he's changed things very quickly. And 4 points out of 6 isn't bad at all.
Yeah, most definitely. I saw him the post-match interview saying that if anyone asks for more, he's not sure what more he could give them. So, yeah, I think it's been a good start with Bafana. Like we discussed last week, the bookmakers had Bafana up as favourites to beat Sudan, and they did that. And I thought Nigeria beat them personally, but they didn't. So, yeah, I think it's all good on that front. As I said, the PSL betting isn't up, so if we can turn our attention just to England and the Premier League, and obviously the biggest game of the weekend is Arsenal and Man City, beloved Arsenal.
And mine.
Yeah,
and mine.
That's Mark Fish.
Beloved Arsenal.
There we go.
Yeah, of the studio.
Yeah.
Studio. So if you have a look at the betting there, it's Alan Bookmaker and World Sports Betting. They have Man City up at favourite at 14-10. This is at the Emirates, and Arsenal at 19-10. That's Alan Bookmaker and World Sports Betting. So just under 2-1 for Arsenal. And it's going to be a very difficult game, and I think, I don't know where to put my money. I don't think there's value on the other side. I think it could just be a draw.
Yeah, I'd have to, being an Arsenal fan, and I think we'd like to see how far we can gauge, what sort of credentials we have to go on and win the league title. We've got, Man City, yes, still title favourites. I think I think that a draw at the Emirates would probably be a good result. But Man City and Arsenal, both of them, got players that can cause an upset. But I agree with you, Brandon. I think a draw is probably on the cards. Score draw.
I mean, Mark, surely the signing of Danny Welbeck now will help you guys lift the title.
That is a sarcastic.
There's a Man United fan.
There's a sarcastic. Yeah, I know, true. No, he certainly will. But who knows? Maybe you might bring the Arsene Wenger might bring the best out of him. He certainly, since he signed, has scored a lot of goals for England, which is a coup for him. But obviously, Cavani is a big signing for you. He's injury prone, so we'll just needs to go down to one of these Stokes and just kick once, and then he'll be out for the season. So let's not really get into the titty-tatty stuff. But anyway. Chelsea, Swansea, the top of the table clash.
Yeah, well, we say top of the table clash, but I mean, Swansea had to go and beat a Manchester United that worked up to scratch. But they have started well, Swansea, and because that's Alan Bookmaker.
Brandon, just give us the news. Don't have to have your little comments about that.
They've got both bookmakers have Chelsea up at 3-10 favourites at home to win this game. Swansea at 9-1. With betting, that's the best price you can get on Swansea. And I don't know, Chelsea have been very, very impressive the last couple of weeks. I don't know if I can back against them, and I think I'll get the few points.
No, so you can't back it, not even at 9-1 to beat Chelsea. Come on, what has Swansea got now?
Maybe Swansea, maybe back Swansea and the draw that won both bookmakers again.
But Wilfred Boney stayed, didn't he? He didn't leave in the end.
Yeah.
So they've always got that little sneaky striker. It's all Mitchell or Boney or someone comes up and scores a nasty little one against you, disrupts the whole thing. But I agree. I think Chelsea, obviously, everyone's backing them as the early favourites, ahead of Manchester City, the current champions. With it's going to be very hard, even at 9-1, to put some money on Swans. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm saying that, and Chelsea do concede goals. I mean, against Everton, they conceded 3. I don't think Mourinho was happy with that. They might concede, but I think that they've got enough firepower at the top end doing that one. Another interesting game is Everton. They've also had not the best start to the season. They did score 3 against Chelsea, and on that form line, I think they can beat West Brom, although I think they've only won there once in the last couple of years. So it's going to be an interesting game, that as well. Just so many interesting games this weekend. And the beloved Man United once again up against QPR. Yep. Hopefully, Louis Van Gaal can get his first 3 points.
What sort of odds can you get on QPR to beat Man United?
QPR can get better than Swansea, Mark. You can get 11 to 1.
11 to 1?
Oh, you're going to put a 10 on that.
Jeez, that's a good bet, isn't it,
I think we all put a 10 on that one.
That's a brilliant bet. 11 to 1 to beat Man United.
Oh.
How can they possibly?
Again, QPR and the draw.
145 million pounds spent by Manchester United in the transfer window. And yet, I still think QPR can do this. What do you think, Mark?
I'd back QPR all the way.
Well,
sorry, Brandon.
It's just coming from a Man United fan. They are value. They are value for money,
Mate, for 20 years we haven't been able to do this, so come on, let us have our little bit of a dig at
100%.
Yeah.
Five have come to Old Trafford, and they've got full 3 points. Harry Redknapp's a good manager. Yeah. And you never know, eh? You never know.
Mate, but don't you remember about this time last year? We were saying, I was saying, look, we're doing Moyes out as a hashtag, but Man United will come right. They'll be top 3 or 4, and it just never quite happened. It's weird, isn't it? Van Gaal, I was so much even more sure that they'd finish top 2 or 3 at least, and now we're looking at relegation. Do you think?
Nah, mid-table.
Capital One Cup's out of the question.
Mid-table.
I wouldn't go for relegation, but I will say that Moyes started better than Van Gaal started. Although the difference between the two is Van Gaal has got rid of who he doesn't want. Welbeck's gone, Cleverley's gone. Nanny's gone, so he's given them an opportunity over the first month of the season, and if they're not in his plans, they leave. I don't think Moyes was strong enough to do that, and we suffered because of it.
It's tragic, isn't it? I feel tears. Thank you, Brandon. We'll be back next week to discuss Man United's problems and Arsenal wins for Arsenal and Chelsea, hopefully. And thanks a million. Topodds.com on the internet. Top Odds Compare on Twitter. Great stuff, mate. Have a great week and a great weekend. We should have discussed the All Blacks, but we didn't have time. Sadly, we're now out of time.
Whatever odds he gave us, we would have put it on the Springboks anyway. Always got to back the home nation. Or your home country.
That was a shocker, wasn't it, the rugby? Yeah.
We'd rather not talk about it, but anyway. Comfort.
Yeah.